A mystery company backed by Silicon Valley billionaires has purchased tens of thousands of acres of land, 52,000 acres of land around an Air Force base for more than $800 million to build a new city near San Francisco. Let's see, we got Silicon Valley billionaires. So we're going to be building a city that has no police, very woke. There will be, it's just going to be a modern day utopia. Everything's going to be green. Regulations for anybody who, doesn't agree with anything that they say. Regulations and laws for them. But other than that, pretty much just a free for all, kind of like San Francisco is now, yet new. Is this what we're doing? Is this what we got going on? I know a lot of folks that are really wealthy are always saying, well, let's just build our own city. Maybe you got that going on right here. Let's get into it. What's the dealio? Here we go. A bunch of you guys have sent this to me, and I've seen this story. It's like, what are they doing? A mystery company backed by Silicon Valley billionaires has been snatching up land in a Northern California county in an apparent bid to build an entirely new city in the state. The New York Times reported those investors include some of the valley's most recognizable names, from Mark Andreessen to Laureen Powell Jobs. The company Flannery Associates has spent $800 million to purchase thousands of acres of farmland in Solano County, which sits northeast of San Francisco, court documents obtained by Insider show. Let's take a quick peek. Let's just take a quick peek. All right, see this here? This is Travis Air Force Base. That deal there that's outlined, that's what you're looking for. Let's take a little bit of a look outside. There's San Francisco. There's Oakland. Here is Travis Air Force Base. So it's north and east of San Francisco. It's kind of out in the desert-ish, right? Out in the desert-ish. So Flannery Associates has spent $800 million to purchase thousands of acres. The Wall Street Journal reported that Flannery has purchased about 52,000 acres of farmland around Travis Air Force Base since 2018. This has been in the works for a while. It's been in the works for a while. I know you guys love a good conspiracy theory, but this might not be a conspiracy theory. This might be a, this is what we're doing kind of deal, right? According to the report, government officials began investigating the purchases due to concerns that foreign interests may be behind the company. We got a Chinese intervention here. Are they buying up the land? No. Bunch of billionaires from Silicon Valley are, though, right? So, all right, yeah, there's that map. So the entire base is encircled now, Catherine Moy, mayor of Fairfield, told ABC 7 News. So there's no part that isn't touched by Flannery. Do we have some tomfoolery going on here? Are we going to have shenanigans in the new town? What's it going to be called? What is this new city that's about to emerge? Little is known about Flannery Associates or its specific city plans. According to the Times, the company is led by Jan Shramek, a 36-year-old former Goldman Sachs trader. I'm sure it'll be all fine then, because, I mean, those traders, those Wall Street traders, they've always got the skill set to manage just about everything, right? Yeah. You guys saw The Wolf of Wall Street, didn't you? Epic, right? One of the greatest movies I think ever was the original Wall Street, right? Oh, that was just so good. So good. Charlie Sheen. Oh, man. I mean, the list just went on. Martin Sheen, you name it. That was an epic movie. That was when I was in high school. And I was like, that's cool. Flannery's backers include Andreessen, Powell Jobs, Michael Moritz of Sequoia Capital, LinkedIn co-founder Reid Hoffman, and others, according to the report. Well, I'm sure they'll have the most inclusive city of all time, right? I mean, I'm sure it will be. It's unclear how much they each invested in the company. In 2017, Flannery Associates pitched an idea to turn the Solano County land into a walkable city powered by clean energy and housing tens of thousands of residents, the Times reported. Real estate data shows that the current median housing price in the county is $585,000. That is cheap compared to San Francisco. That is some cheap, because that's median, right? That means half below, half above. Not mean, which is the average, median. Array the data above and below. In an email obtained by the Times, Moritz said that Flannery had purchased about 1,400 acres of land for less than $5,000 per acre. But the spending price has since soared, with Flannery spending up to $15,000 per acre, lawyers for Flannery Associates said in court documents. In May, the attorneys for Flannery filed a lawsuit against a group of Solano County landholders saying that they conspired to inflate their land prices. You mean when you guys were doing a land grab, somebody recognized it? When you guys are buying 52,000 acres of land, somebody bumped up their prices because, supply and demand? Oh, I'm shocked. I am flabbergasted that this is happening. Right? No, it's to be expected. Let's say, we'll just keep selling it to you for the same rate. Why wouldn't we? You guys have been good for it so far. So, we'll just, we want to make this a fair deal. So we're just going to charge you what we have been from the get-go. The lawsuit alleges Flannery overpaid the owners by about $170 million and is seeking damages of at least $510 million. Well, who put the gun to your head and said, sign this deed? Who did that? I don't think that's the case, right? You made us pay for this stuff and it's overpriced. That just sounds like consumerism. What are you guys doing? But in a motion to dismiss the lawsuit that was filed in July, the landowner said that they have either engaged in good faith, arm's length transactions for the sale of land, or were not tempted by Flannery's prices because they had no desire or ability to sell. Didn't want to sell. There was nobody out there. There was no buyers for it. Didn't want to sell. But Flannery comes along. Hey, you can have it, but it's going to cost you because I know what you've been up to. I know what you've been doing. You've been buying everything up. So you've got a plan. I've got the land. Let's make this work. Let's make a deal. Attorneys for Flannery Associates and the landowners did not respond to a request for comment outside of working hours. Silicon Valley has long sought to build a city from scratch, sometimes with a utopian vision of a smart city. What in the hell would that look like? Right? Can you imagine? If it's anything, the route that San Francisco has gone, I'd say, hey, go for it. You build it. They will come. I will not. Right? In 2016, Y Combinator, a Silicon Valley startup accelerator, began looking into how it could build a city that could address California's affordable housing crisis. Now, you can't, because you can't work your way out of that one. You don't have enough land to be able to build that. It's ridiculous. It's absurd. That's for people who are like, well, things have gotten really expensive here. How can we, build a few hundred units of housing and have housing just, come back to being affordable? It's not going to. That's the thing. Everybody who bitches about affordable housing, I get it. You don't have housing to house your employees who don't make top dollar, all the people that you need to run your city, your town, your whatever, and it's really expensive. It's kind of an issue, isn't it? But you just got to figure it out. We want to build cities for all humans, for tech and non-tech people. That's the main problem, right? Tech people have loads of money and they buy up the nice real estate. And then that filters down and the non-tech people just flat can't afford it. Can't afford it. Where do they go? Away. They go further out. They go to the next town over where they don't have that massive tech influence. Except these job markets have gotten so big, and with work from home, people are able to work wherever they want. We got that struggle going on right now. Massive struggle between work from home and employers who want their people back in the office minimum 3 days a week. So we want to build cities for all humans, for tech and non-tech people, the accelerator wrote. We're not interested in building crazy libertarian utopias for techies. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. You are. Otherwise you wouldn't be doing it. Let's just make this a town for conservatives. Could you imagine? No. I believe, yeah. Tech founders, including Bill Gates and Elon Musk, have also had visions of their own cities. I'm sure they have. We would call it Bill Gates. We're now in the town of Bill Gates. We're now in the town of Elon Musk. He's our founder. He had this vision years and years ago, and he took all the land from the locals. And here now we've got Bill Gatesville. Musk recently purchased 3,500 acres of land outside of Austin, Texas, to build a town he intends to call Snailbrook. What is this? Is there a significance there? I don't know. One of the stories I was reading the other day is that Elon might be doing a little bit too much ketamine. Yeah, large animal tranquilizer. A lot of people are doing ketamine. The Bob Love, was it, I think? The tech CEO who got murdered in San Francisco. He was doing a little ketamine. And he had that whole encounter with his, what was it, friend's wife? Or I can't remember. Yeah, that whole thing was just crazy. So Elon wants to build Snailbrook. I'm sure that'll work out. Sources told the Journal that he envisioned a sort of Texas Utopia along the Colorado River. Doesn't it always seem like when one of these cities gets built, it's, it's okay for a little bit, and then it just turns into some derivation that's just wildly off the tracks, because it's not built the way out a normal city would be built, which is based on enterprise, which is based on business, which is based on a group of people to get together for the common cause. And they want to have a town and city that's going to live forever, not on the railroad tracks, not at least on the wrong side of the tracks. They just want a good city where people can raise their kids and be happy and retire and swing on the front porch and drink their sweet tea. Or something like that, right? I don't think I'll ever live in a town like that. I would like to live in something other than what I'm living in now, but it's home. It's where my kid is. It's, where my family is. It's where my businesses are. It's where I grew up. Bellevue, Washington. It's not a terrible place, but I like to go into Seattle just to see what's going on, because that's entertaining. But these towns that these billionaires would be putting together, oh my word, with an unlimited budget, they can kind of put together whatever harebrained idea that they think would work. But in reality, these guys are so smart and yet so dumb at the same time, right? Because they don't have any common sense. After you get a few billion behind your name, you lose your ability to, I think, rationally make decisions that the rest of us would go, I wouldn't probably do that. Yeah, I'd say hard no-go on that one. And the billionaires just like, well, I'm doubling down now. We're just going to make this happen. It'll work out, right? So this Travis Air Force Base, what's that going to look like? That's pretty far away, right? I mean, it's going to be a haul from San Francisco. But is it going to be its own little thing out in not even little, at 52,000 acres? That's a fairly good sized city. That's not a small city. Are they going to bring in their own sewer? Are they going to bring in their own water? Are they going to bring in, and why around an Air Force base? I mean, that's suspect right there, right? Is something nefarious happening? I do not know. Are shenanigans about to emerge? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? It could be one guy with the vision going, this is going to be the greatest thing ever. And a bunch of other techies are like, yeah, I got that chump change, that 100 million. I got that. I mean, that's in like my secondary savings account. I'll wire it to you. You go buy some land. We'll do that crazy thing that we've always been talking about. Reminds me of that scene in the movie, The Big Chill. Remember Jeff Goldblum? He was talking to, I can't remember who he was talking to. He's like, when we were in college, we all had that concept of getting together and buying some land. Whatever happened to that? And the guy he's talking to is like, we didn't have any money. Jeff Goldblum, the Fly character, he's like, oh, yeah. Well, these guys got money, right? So they can go do whatever they want to do. They can make it happen. If it's just scrub land out by the Air Force Base, you got the jets flying by. I'm sure that's a perfect location. Who doesn't want to be underneath the jets going by? If you've ever been in an area where that happens a lot, it's called Seafair here for, Seattle. You get Blue Angels going overhead. And even if they're not that close, they are loud. And I love it. I think it's the greatest thing when the Blue Angels come into town, or just being around where you've got like some kind of air show. That is just so cool. Just the roar of those jets going through. I always tell people that I know are a little bit a little bit further left of, where I am. I always tell them, you know what that sound is? And they're like, no, what? That's the sound of freedom. And they'll always just go, oh, yeah, no, those jets are too loud. They shake the building. They're not good for my pets. They're not good for, global warming. They've got a big carbon footprint. Yeah, but they're damn cool. Just admit it. When they fly by, you're like, that's freedom. So this whole building of these towns, we'll watch it. We'll watch it unfold because I'm sure it's going to work out just fine. Podcast for days, right? All right. Thanks so much for being here. I'd love to have you subscribe, hit that notification bell, hit the like button for this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.